What's up, guys? You are watching Fight Feed, and I am going to be going through the UFC Pick Tracker that I have recently updated, and it now includes several of the creators that you guys have all either recommended to me or additional creators that I just wanted to get included in this Pick Tracker. This Pick Tracker is for any of you MMA fans who are ever curious, how does MMA experts choose their fights? What's their pick percentage? Mr. Kenny Okoye, I don't know how to say his last name, guys. Sorry if I got that wrong, but Kenny claims a 97 point something percent pick rate. And guess what, guys? This pick tracker is going to be the evidence for all of us to know how each creator is picking these MMA fights that occur. Not necessarily just MMA, but mainly UFC fights. So, with the start of this new pick tracker, we are including the entire fight card for International Fight Week, which is UFC 317 that is happening this Saturday. I just want to do a quick preview, and my plan now that we've got more creators involved is to do, if we can, a weekly preview video on Fridays where I can go through who each person is picking, and then from there, as fans, on Saturday, we get to find out what happened Saturday night. So, diving into the pick tracker, taking a look at some of these fights, I want to just give a couple people a shout out here because it almost seems like MMA fortune teller and Lucas Tracy MMA, by not picking a fighter in the McVeigh fight, it was almost like they were fortune tellers because this fight actually got canceled. To my knowledge, it looks like the guy is stepping in for Boot Gang Cedric Dumas missed weight by 10 pounds. Christopher something. I think his last name is Ewert, if I'm not mistaken. He missed weight by 10 pounds. So this fight is no longer going to be part of this. I'm going to be updating that after this video here. So taking a look at the first fight on the card, it looks as though every creator on here has picked Denise except for the Weasle. It appears the Weasle has picked Alvin Hines to win this fight by a potential close decision. So a very interesting pick here. Now on the next fight, I am the only person that picked Nico Price. Just kidding. Everybody picked Jacoby Smith. I think everyone thinks he's going to get the win. Taking a look at, we're going to skip past McVeigh. Most of us picked McVeigh, however, in the fight against Cedric Wes. But Terrence McKinney versus Vyacheslav Borshev. It looks as though all creators picked McKinney except for Kenny, who picked Borshev. And I also believe, looks like Bedtime MMA picked Borshev. And it's just those two. So Kenny and Bedtime have the same pick in the Vyacheslav Borshev versus Terrence McKinney. Taking a look at Viviana Araujo versus Tracy Cortez. We've got a mixed bag here, guys. So I know I picked Cortez, and so did Hey Jive Picks, Kenny Okoye, MMA Fortune Teller, Bedtime MMA, mma-guru, and MMA Joey all picked Cortez. And then we have Rahuho, I can't fucking say her name. We got MMA Experts with picking Araujo. We've got the Weasle picking Araujo. We've got Jake Gerber picking Araujo. Shout out Jake, I got the same first name. And then we've got Lucas Tracy, Araujo. There we go. So mixed bag there, guys, in terms of who's picking who in that fight. But this is what makes this so fun, guys, is for myself, and then hopefully for you guys too that are tracking this, is as you see, because there's like a 50-50 chance in some of these fights, there's that potential for someone to have a crazy week. Like if you guys have been following my other updates in my previous pick tracker, Lucas Tracy and MMA Joey both had weeks where they only got one pick wrong. So this is a great example. It's like you could be like the outlier in terms of picking maybe the underdog on a specific fight, getting that fight right. Like for instance, for some of you who've seen my stuff, I picked Juliana Miller to win her last fight. I don't think there was anyone under the sun that picked Juliana Miller. from what I saw anyways. And she ended up winning. So it's like you could have those weird moments that happen in MMA. So taking a look at the next fight, we got Jack Hermansson versus Gregory Rodriguez. I will say over the week, and my initial thought was that this obviously leans heavy towards Rodriguez. However, because RoboCop kind of gassed out his last fight and things of that nature, I did have a thought that, if Hermansson can survive that early onslaught of damage that Rodriguez is going to bestow upon him, that he could potentially edge out a decision, assuming he's able to stop that damage and then take control in the later rounds. But it's only a 3-round fight. So taking a look at that, though, I think all of us picked Rodriguez except for Bedtime MMA. He picked Hermansson. Bedtime MMA, MMA Joey and Bedtime MMA both picked Hermansson. So, dude, like I said, this could be a weird situation where, Bedtime MMA might get both those right, and then the rest of us would have L's in that category. So the next fight, we've got Peyton Talbot versus Felipe Lima. I believe most of us picked Lima. We've got Hey Jive picks with Talbot. Hey Jive picks is the only one to pick Peyton Talbot, according to this. So there you go. That's a fun one. And then we've got Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. I'm picking Money Moicano. Hey Jive Picks has Moicano. Bedtime MMA has Moicano. MMA Guru's got Moicano. And then the remainder of the folks, we've got MMA Experts, the Weasle, Kenny, MMA Fortune Teller, Jake Gerber, and Lucas Tracy, and MMA Joey all picked Dariush. So that'll be an interesting one. The next fight, we've got Royval versus Van. I picked Royval, and so did the Weasle. Hey Jive picks Lucas Tracy and MMA Joey. And then in terms of picking Van, we've got MMA Experts. We've got Kenny Okoye. We've got MMA Fortune Teller. We've got Jake Gerber. We've got Bedtime MMA. We've got MMA Guru. All picking Joshua Van in that fight. So that's an interesting one too, guys, because I feel like that's a bit of a mixed bag there. The co-main event of the evening, we've got a heavy selection on Pantoja. So myself, the MMA Experts, the Weasle, Fortune Teller, Jake Gerber, Bedtime MMA, MMA Guru, Lucas Tracy, all picked Pantoja. And it looks like the only two, from what I can see here, we've got Kai Kara-France picked by MMA Joey. And I believe... Okay, no. So we've got Hey Jive picks Kenny Okoye and MMA Joey all picked Kai Kara-France to get the win in the co-main event. And then in the main event of the evening, we got Charles Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria. I do not believe one person in this entire tracker. Yeah, we've all selected Topuria to get the win. So should Charles Oliveira get a win on Saturday, that would be a huge upset for not only just, I think, the odds from a betting line perspective, but also for this tracker. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Comment below if you guys have any questions or thoughts on this tracker and who everyone is picking. After the things you've seen this week, have any of you leaned slightly the other way on picks you might have already previously made? Like, for instance, are you still leaning, if you picked Topuria earlier this week, are you still leaning that way? Do you think Charles Oliveira has a chance? If you guys want some fun content, I did a simulation in UFC 5 where I put Charles Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria. UFC 5 has Charles Oliveira winning by submission against Topuria based on that simulation. So if you guys are interested, you can go check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to give it a like and also subscribe to FITEFEED so you can stay on top of all of my new content and weekly updates. Thank you guys, and we will see what happens tomorrow night.